This is Cooking with Nick, and today we will be making a recipe of my own creation, the Szechuan Stir Fry. First though, a few words. Now, before I get started, I just want to say a fair warning. This recipe is a lot harder and it has a lot more ingredients than anything I've covered previously, so just keep your wits about you and you should be fine. Anyways, here's what you'll need. For the batter that you'll put the chicken pieces in, you'll need 2 cups flour, half a cup cornmeal, 2 cups of water, and 2 tablespoons of oil. For the actual things you'll put in the stir fry, you'll need 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, about half a bag of green beans, and about 4 carrots sliced up. And lastly, for the sauce, you'll need quite a few things. You'll need 6 cloves of garlic, 4 tablespoons balsamic vinegar, 2 teaspoons soy sauce, 2 tablespoons plum sake, very important this one, half tablespoon sriracha, 2 tablespoons white sugar, 4 tablespoons brown sugar, and lastly, red pepper flakes and grated ginger root to taste. Now, let's get started. Now, the first step is to make the batter. And to make the batter, you add your flour, your corn flour, your water, and your oil into a medium-sized bowl. And then you're just going to want to whisk it together until it looks blended. There. Now you just want to set this aside because we'll need to use it later. Next, you're going to want to cut everything you're going to put in it. Now first up should be the beans. Now the beans you'll want to cut into about, I'd say this is about like an inch long, and just do that to all of them until all your beans are the same length. There. Now once you finish cutting the beans, you have to cut the carrots. Now there's a very specific way you have to cut them. What you do is you start up here, like here, I'll do it so you can see it. You start from the top and then you cut vertically. Oddly, you want to do this because if you don't, then it won't get cooked right. So just cut the whole thing in half, and then once you cut this in half, you're going to want to cut the halves in half. And then you'll keep doing this until you have 4 pieces. I'll cut to that. There. Now they've been cut. I didn't show it, but you basically just keep cutting them into smaller and smaller pieces until they look like little matchsticks. This is to make them cook easier. Now, what you're actually going to do with them. So, put your green beans and your carrots into a steamer, and then steam them for about 12 minutes. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is to cut up your chicken. Now, you're going to want to put the breading you made earlier on the chicken, so you're going to want to make it nice and small. I recommend about like 1 inch by 1 inch cubes for it. Nothing too small, but nothing too big either. One last thing before we proceed to the next step. Make sure that you clean your cutting board after you cut the chicken. It has some weird problems with it that when it's uncooked it makes everything act weird. Next, you're going to want to put a frying pan on your stove and put it on low. And also put about a few centimeters of oil on it. You're going to do this because you're going to have to bread and fry the chicken. Take the chicken, dip it in the batter, get it nice and coated, and then drop it in. And then just keep doing this until all your chicken is nice and covered. There. Now that your chicken's there, you're just going to want to slowly cook it. Make sure the batter doesn't get stuck, otherwise the chicken won't be separate. And just keep doing this until they're about brown. Okay, the next thing you're going to need to do is, once they're cooked, like so, you're going to want to put them onto a, hold on, let me just turn the camera around, a plate of napkins. Now just lift them out of the pan and leave them on it to cook or dry. Now, around this same time, your chicken and your beans should be done. And now for the last step, making the sauce. Now, to make the sauce, the first thing you should do is put some minced garlic in there. Now, this isn't minced garlic, this is pre-minced garlic, because I got lazy. But here's on screen how to mince garlic. And then, on the screen now, should be appearing the step. At the same time, you're going to want to bring it to on low heat because of the next step. The next step, you're going to want to do what's called sweating the garlic, which is where you just stir it around until it kind of dissolves, I guess. Garlic kind of does that. And so you can get all of that good garlicky flavor out without actually needing to pour the other ingredients in. Next, you're going to want to add your 4 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Next, you're going to want to add your 2 tablespoons plum sake. Now at this point, make sure you don't make it too hot because alcohol is very susceptible to catching on fire. Next is where the dish gets its spice. You're going to want to put not 1, not 2, but 3 tablespoons of sriracha into it. Now, personally, I love sriracha, so I wanted to put some in the recipe. So about 3.5. And then you'll just want to stir that in. Next, to give the sauce its sweetness, you're going to want to add your white sugar and your brown sugar. The ratio, you can change it if you want, but it always needs to be more brown sugar than white sugar. These next 2 are both to taste, so when you add them, you should add them only as much as you like. And those are the red pepper flakes. And for the ginger, just grate it. I use the smallest you can, like with the garlic bread. I recommend grating about 1 clove of it, or like a little arm, I guess. Just grate it into your sauce. Anyways, mix it all together and then let it simmer for 5 minutes to just let everything blend. Now, everything's done. Ideally, you want to mix these 3 things, the sauce, the vegetables, and the chicken together, but I ran out of time. So I did kind of a buffet thing. You can have people serve themselves what they like, put the sauce on it, and then there's some rice over here. And that's the recipe. You can put your own spin on it. I left it really open-ended, so you can make your perfect dish. Anyways, bye and have a day.